There you go. Okay. So tonight it's how to raise capital in 2026, whether you are completely new to raising capital or you're an expert. A lot of times, even if you are an expert, sometimes going back to basics is crucial. You don't need another fancy system, another fancy strategy, but it's really going back to basics. And now is even the time for, I would say, everyone. I think majority of people are goal setting and all those fancy stuff. Trying to see what's going to be my goal for 2026. What strategy do I need to implement? Yada, yada, yada. And then by Q2, everyone's consistency goes back like this, right? So we all get pumped up and all those stuff. So what I'm gonna share, we're actually gonna have an exercise. So first of all, guys, make sure you have a pen and paper. If you're driving, I completely understand, but if you don't, grab a pen and a paper. If you are new here as well, I would love if you can turn your cameras on so I can see your beautiful faces. I love seeing faces. I strongly believe in the more you show your face and also engage, the more I will remember you and you will retain info as well. And someone will also remember you as well. I don't believe in showing up to a Zoom just to listen in. All of my Zooms here are very interactive, I would like to think, and they're not boring, but I also want it to be a learning experience as well. So tonight, that's all the things that we're gonna cover, and we will end promptly at 8:30 p.m. We'll have time for questions, but you can also drop them in the chat. If I skip over the question and it's something relating to the slide, then feel free to just unmute me if I no, not unmute me. Oh my God, unmute yourselves, right? And then I will and just ask your question as well. So we are gonna get into it. Make sure you have, again, your pen and your paper. And from there, I am just gonna go right in as well. Be open-minded as well tonight, okay? Be open-minded. Um, don't try to figure out the how in your head. Anything that you hear me say, don't think that you need to have the solution for it, or oh, I need to go implement this now. Everything that I'm giving you, it's a foundation for you to build upon, depending on where you're at in your journey and where you want to go. So use tonight as the building block to, okay, I'm gonna goal set whatever it is I'm gonna do. This is my foundation. This is my groundwork right now. So I want to set that expectation. Let me double check to make sure you guys can actually see my screen. Hold on. No, let's pull this up here. All right. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Are you seeing my beautiful face?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I love that. Whoever answered that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So tonight we are focusing on what I do to raise my next 500,000 in 2026. I actually had 1 million here. And I was like, for some people that might be overwhelming. So let's break it down for 500,000. Okay. So this is what I would do in 2026. Again, see, I put the word me, right? So a lot of these things are things that I've tried already. I've tried so many different strategies. I've tried things that doesn't work. And after me trying different things, I'm like, okay, now this is what I need to double down on. Right. So that's everything that I'm sharing with you tonight is from my experience. It's going to be things that are simple, repeatable, and very relationship driven. And I want you guys to sit on that. Again, I'm going to say this again. Everything that I'm saying to you tonight may seem simpler that you assume that you already know. Let it sink in. And also the activities that we're going to do, go back and review it and come up with an action plan from the conversation that we do tonight. Don't just take notes and just like, oh, that's it, and put it aside. If you're going to do that, leave. Honestly, you're wasting your time just showing up to take notes, and then you're not going to do anything. I like everything that I'm sharing, I want you guys to do it because I know it can work if you do it. So I'm going to be sharing what I do to raise my next 500,000 in 2026. Right. So tonight we're going to go over some clear strategy, conversation frameworks. We're going to touch on that a little bit, a simple follow-up plan, 2026 approach that is realistic, whether you are experienced, whether you are new. What this isn't, I'm not going to give you guys some viral advice or a complex CRM tutorial or a pitch deck masterclass. Anything that requires perfection, I'm not going to give you that. Also, if you guys have a question about, Kalisha, what's your perfect pitch? I'm not even going to give you that either, because this session is not about that. Nothing is about the perfect pitch, because a lot of times we don't need more information. We don't need the perfect script. We don't need the perfect this. We need structure and repetition. And that's what we're going to simplify and execute. I'm an executioner. Oh, whoa. I almost say I'm an executioner. No, I'm not. I like executing tasks. Okay. Disclaimer. This session tonight is for educational and informational purposes only, you guys, and it does not constitute legal, financial, or investment advice. Any examples shared are based on real scenarios for learning purposes and should not be interpreted as specific recommendation. These are from my experiences that I'm sharing with you guys. Always consult with a licensed attorney, financial advisor, or CPA before structuring or entering any investment or lending agreement. Participation in this webinar does not create a client relationship or guarantee specific outcomes. Do you guys agree? Can you drop that in the chat, please? Or a few of you unmute to say, I agree. To my disclaimer, I can't move forward if you guys don't. I agree. Okay. I need one more. I need a fourth person. Or unmute to say, I agree. I need one more person. All right, love it. Thank you. So now I can move forward. All right. So the big reframe, right? I'm going to just jump straight into it. The thing is, when you hear 500,000 to raise that in 2026, I wouldn't try to raise everything at once. Here's what I mean. I'd raise it through consistent conversations. So you might think, for a lot of people, and it might seem scary as well, is that I need to raise $500,000 for a project. Oops, I don't have one person in my head. Oh, I need to talk to one person. And once I talk to that one person, they need to say yes. No, I would have multiple conversations, ongoing conversations with different people. This is where the word consistent, and you'll be seeing that a lot tonight as well, where I'm using the word consistent, because you have to be consistent and you have to keep repeating these tasks in order for you to get to this 500K. And yes, you can raise 500K from one person, even if you've never done it before. I raised $300,000 from a complete stranger over Facebook during the Christmas holidays. So you can do it. And the beginning of my career, an island girl who have never even held $20,000 US in her hand. So you can do it, okay? So, but before we go deep into that, we're going to do an exercise. It's called Capital Clarity Audit, because here's the thing. You can't fix what you can't name. You can't go to a doctor and ask for medicine, or you want them to diagnose you with something, if you don't tell them what your symptoms are. And a lot of times we want the goal, but we haven't even audited what we did the previous year. We haven't audited what worked before, but we always jump to that next thing. How about you audit to see what worked before and be like, okay, these are the things that I need to improve. And then your goal setting becomes more intentional, more strategic, right? So the first question, and this is where your pen and paper comes in. Yes, we're going to write, and we want to be completely honest with ourselves. And I'm going to have timers on this as well. So let me get my phone for the timer. The first question is, where are your investors coming from? If you've raised money before, or you've never raised money before, it doesn't matter, and you've talked to people, and you don't have to be in real estate. I know a lot of people on here are from real estate, or even if you're rewatching it, it's the same strategy. It applies, the skill. Where are your investors coming from? Is it through social media, referrals, events, past relationship? Maybe you're not consistent yet, so you don't know. Maybe where your investors are coming from is also not listed here. Write it down. All of your investors, if you can figure out majority of them throughout last 2025, 2024, anybody, the last 5 years, anyone that gave you money, anyone who expressed interest in giving you money, where did they come from? Where did they meet? Where did you meet them? This is going to be crucial, you guys. And you have 30 more seconds to write that down as to where they came from. Like for me, a lot of mine came from referrals and social media. A lot of them came from that. Okay. So it has to be for you, not for Brianna, not for Aaliyah, not for Car. It has to be for you. Okay. The next question, before I go to the next question, right? So based on where your investors are coming from, here's the next thing. In 2026, right? I would pick 2 sources and get consistent with it. So I want you to write your top 2 sources based on what worked for you last year or 2025. Or if you're completely new, pick 2 that you're comfortable with. What are 2 sources? Not 3, guys, 2. And these are things that I've been doing and I will be doing in 2026. I'm going back all the sources that has worked for me and picking the top 1 so I can be more strategic and more intentional with those. So I want you guys to pick 2 sources. Remember, if you're new to my webinars, these are what my webinars are about. It's not for you to soak up all the info, but for you to do the stuff, because these things we will say we'll do it later and we never do, ever. So this is like we're working together. It's our working session, okay? Next question. Where are you getting stuck? You are here tonight because something from our school group, from a promotional, an email, Facebook, wherever you saw that we're having this webinar, something made you think, I want to be here. Where are you stuck? Let's be brutally honest with yourself. Is it starting that initial conversation? Is it you're following up? Is it you just don't have the confidence, and that's okay, right? Are you having issues explaining the deal? Are you having issues asking for a commitment? Maybe you don't have any deal? Where are you stuck? If you have all of this figured out, you should not be here then. That means you're good. You're 100% good. Be honest with yourself. That's between you. What do you write? I can't even see what you write. So be honest. Why are you here? So this is going to be very crucial. Maybe you're stuck, and the reason that you're stuck is not even listed here. These are just some examples. Maybe they're not listed here, but still write it down. Why are you stuck? Where are you getting stuck? Where? Okay. The next thing then, what this will do is that you're stuck, the point where you're stuck, it will tell what your next system should be. So I want you to circle one thing that you wrote down that you're stuck. One, that's going to be your focus. If you're completely new, don't do more than one. If you've raised money before, choose 2, but that's it. Choose 2. 2 things that you're stuck, because that is what's going to help you to figure out what you need to double down on. Okay. Next question. What's the one thing you avoided doing consistently for 2025? It could be posting. It could be doing outreach, DM, maybe getting calls booked. It could be following up. It could be talking about funding. It could be asking directly about money or pitching your deal. It could be doing everything yourself and wearing all the hats. It could be you have a team, but you're not delegating. What's that one thing you avoided to do consistent? It could be, I had this grand idea to buy this business and I want private capital for 3 months later, you change your mind. I want to do wholesale. And a month later, I choose to something else because you had shiny object syndrome. Write it down and be brutally honest with yourself. Be honest. If you're not honest with yourself, you cannot get to where you want to be. Okay. All right. Next thing. In 2026, right? I would build. So if I figure out what that one thing I was avoiding consistently was, I would then build a system around the thing I resist the most. Here's an example. It could be following up. I sucked at follow-up. I hated follow-up. I'm not consistent with follow-up. I'll follow up 2 weeks straight. A month later, I'm done. Then I'm back at it with following up. I would then focus on that one action. Okay. Follow-up is going to be one thing I need to focus on. You see how we're breaking things down. We're going to do this together. So whatever it is that one thing that you avoided doing consistently, right? I want you to write that down, that one thing. Okay. All right. These are the main 3 questions that we're going to do. So hold them handy, right? So now that you know what your setback is, right? We're going to talk about why the 2026 approach needs to be completely different, right? We write it down. Anyone has follow-up questions or is a little bit lost before I continue? Okay, you guys are Gucci. Silence means consent. I always screw up that code. I need to stop saying that code. Okay. All right. So, but this is one thing I also I need us to get in our heads a little bit. A lot, not even a little bit. The 2026 investor mindset, guys. Investors in 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, you know what they want? They don't care about big returns. They want clarity. They want consistency, proof of process. Because when you have a proof of process or some system, it shows them that you're serious and you're about doing this thing and that you're taking on their money as a responsibility or as a business. You have risk awareness, meaning you are not the type of operator who's going to be like, oh, everything is going to be perfect. No, you acknowledge that, hey, there are some risks. Here are some of the risks. These are the things that we're putting in place to mitigate this risk. And this word right here, you hear it all the time, is communication. I think this should be my word for 2025 to describe all of everything in me, raising money, the deals that have gone south, risk. No, these 3 things has been the main thing for me. Proof of process, risk awareness, communication has been the biggest thing for 2025 because people aren't just buying returns. They're buying your trust. And the operators who win are the ones who communicate well. This I am telling you right now. The operators who win are the ones who communicate well. 2025 was the year that taught me there's so many good operators who didn't communicate well. I'm like, never again. My investors are like, never again. But also my investors are like, even if the deal went south and they decide to reinvest, they say yes, because communication was key. Money is hard to find, you guys. Money is getting very harder to find, and it's even getting more expensive. So this is why these things, again, might seem simple, but it is very crucial. Trust and communication. So this is going to be very crucial. I want you guys to please remember it. Not because you want the money, you're going to be perfect with here. And then after you get the money, you go MIA. That's where you screw up so many relationships. Okay. Trust beats hype every single time. Oh my God. I cannot stress this ever enough. Right? I'd rather be understood. I'd rather be consistent and not viral. I don't need to be the most popular. A lot of money, you guys, it will come from people who are watching you quietly for months and not saying anything. a lot of my investors, they're not from referrals. At the beginning of my career, it came from social media, but a lot of those people who came from social media was watching my journey quietly. And yes, it came from referrals. But the thing is, a lot of people don't even know that they can be investors. Have you ever been posting about something? Let's forget about real estate for a little bit. Maybe you've taken on a new sport, a new activity, your hobby, whatever it is, and you post about it, you talk about it. Oh my God, I'm doing this new thing, or I have a new kid. And you keep sharing that with people, whether it's in person, online. And then when they have a question, they automatically think about you and reach out to you and ask you a question. And they're like, hey, are you still doing this? Hey, how's that going? Guess what? Because they're watching you quietly, and then they automatically assume that thing to you. So whenever an opportunity pops up or they have more questions about it, they're going to come to you. That is what happened to me. I wanted to be known as the person who is a capital raiser. I wanted to be known where if you have money and you don't know what to do with it, I'm your person. So I kept showing up as that. And I was very consistent with it. I did not care about being viral and being the most popular, the most comments, the most likes. I did not care about that. But this right here, and when you want people to start writing you checks for 100,000, 500,000, people are watching you. Ain't nobody go. My favorite quote is nobody's walking around with a placard saying I have 500,000 or $1 million. Who wants it? Nobody. I have people that's been on my email list for so long who I never had a clue that I had money until they respond to be like, oh, I've been watching you. I get that all the time. I've been watching you. What do you mean you've been watching me? Oh, I've just been watching you. And they ask questions because you're also educating. So this is going to be very crucial. The good stuff. I'm keeping it simple tonight. Like, I'm not going to overwhelm you. This 500K number, it might seem overwhelming for some of you. It might seem not a big deal. It might be like, Kalisha, get it over with. I just need one person to cut me a check for $500,000. Yes, me too. That will be lovely. But also strategy. You don't need that 500,000 because that 500,000 can just go to one project. Maybe you're working on 3 or 4 different projects. Now you're going to ask yourself, the 500K, it doesn't need to come from 500 people. We need to break things down. Guys, I still do this in my business today. Any amount of money that I am raising, I do this breakdown. How many investors am I willing to work with to get to that number? Right? If I need $500,000, maybe I'm just starting out and I don't need to know a lot of people. Okay, I need 10 people with $50,000. Or I need 20 people with $25,000. Or I need 5 people with $100,000. We got to break it down, right? Maybe you are completely new and you're like, you know what? I want to do 20 people with 25 or 10 people with 50. For me, I'm not even doing 5 with 100. It just depends on the approach maybe, or what I'm using the money for. It may be like, I only need 2 people, 250 each. That's the max amount of people that I'm willing to take on this opportunity, because you have to know what is the money for? How long will you need that investment for, right? Is it to buy a business? Is it to buy real estate? How long? Is it 5 years? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 months? For you to decide how many people you're going to need. For me personally, again, 2 investors. If I have my fund, of course, I'll take 5 people and you come in with a minimum of 100,000. The math is pretty simple. And we need to go back to our roots and break these things down. Break it down. If your goal is to raise $10 million, how many people do you need to raise $10 million? Do you need to raise $10 million? What's the minimum commitment are you willing to take? Are you going to take a bunch of people with 25,000? Or are you going to take people with 100,000? Because when you decide that, you will know how to approach finding those people. As simple as it seems, actually it's not simple, right? Most people quit because the number feels too heavy. So, oh, I need to raise $1 million. Oh crap, I don't know anybody with $1 million. How about you slow down, breathe, and figure out how many people you need to make that $1 million? You got to remember this thing with raising money, it's a relationship business. Volume is important. Yes. At the beginning, volume is important to talk to potential prospects so you can qualify good people. But at the end of the day, it's a relationship business, right? Once the number feels doable, execution becomes easier. I'm not going to lie. Whenever I'm doing something and if I feel like, oh, I can get this done, this number is easy. You want $50,000? I can find that. It's easier for you to execute, to find out people, to pitch the deal, to talk to multiple people, to get rejected, because you're so confident that you can get it done, because you are also clear on what you need to do to get that $50,000 and how many person you need to talk to. If you're completely new, the $50,000 might seem a lot. You're like, I need 2 people. For me, I have people on standby. That's liquid. Where I can be like, if you ask for money, I can be like, oops. I know exactly who to go to. Right? Again, it's a relationship business. And that's because I built relationships with people. Now, which version feels more realistic to you if you should raise $500,000 in Q1? What we got? We all want to raise, we need money. We want to raise money. Come on, we're putting a plan here. You want to raise 500,000. We want to raise that money. Okay, Daryl said 50 to 100K. Okay, so that means for you, Daryl, you're looking to get maybe 5 to 10 people. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, there you go. So that's a plan to start. Because I'm glad Daryl even answered the way he did. I wasn't expecting that. I think a lot of times we worry about how the paperwork will be structured first. That's not necessary. Figure out how persons are coming in, how many persons are coming in, because depending on the number of persons are coming in, you know how to structure that deal. If you have 10 different investors, you won't do 10 different promissory notes. Do not do that. Please. Don't do 10 different mortgages. I'm going to keep repeating myself because this is crucial. And everyone thinks, Kalisha, there is a secret to raising money and structuring deal. No, the reason I was able to raise so much money the way that I do, the strategy that I use today, is because I break these things down. So it's not overwhelming. I go in with a game plan. Now, when I take on investors, they have to have a minimum of 100,000 because that is worth my time. Before, I would have done 20 people with 25K because I'm just starting out. I had no clue what I was doing. I wanted to get practice. I've gone that experience. Now I would have done 10 people with 50K. So I grew. But I'm like, now minimum 100,000, 5 people. I know. So guess what? Because I know I need 5 people. If someone comes in, hey, Kalisha, I want to give you 200, it changes the plan. I don't need 5 people anymore. I could even get someone in that come in with 300 grand. And then my whole structure becomes different because I have less people to manage. And even I can sweeten that deal for that investor because I have less people. So if you're missing it, depending on the number of people, you know how you can sweeten that deal to make it even more of a win-win for that person. But we won't even go into that. So this is how I would break down the 500K. For me, for 2026, this is my model. It's 100K for 5. That's my starting point. I'm not here. I'm no longer taking $50,000. I'm no longer taking $25,000. You have to have 100,000 minimum to invest with me. So this is my way for 2026. Okay. All right. Here's the thing that stops most people too. We need a strategy. And I'm guilty of this. I'm not going to lie. Like I had to be brutally honest with myself of where I went wrong. We have a consistency and follow-up problem. Life happens. We're wearing all the hats. We're an entrepreneur. We are doing this, but we signed up for this. Remember that. No one forced you to be an entrepreneur. You could go and get a 9 to 5. You always have a choice. You ever checked your email and see the amount of promotions you get in your email from all these shopping people? Their follow-up game is strong. Multiple emails every day, text messages. You go in your mailbox, spam, left or right, follow up. But at some point, you're opening those emails, your text message, you're reading. You may not need it today, but when you do, you're gonna remember that one brand, that one company that you always see. It's the same thing with following up. You got to follow up with your investors. You got to be consistent. And this is our problem, right? My 3 non-negotiables as well for 2026. Okay. If I had to raise 500K, looks simple, but we're going to go deeper into it. Visibility is my number one thing for 2026. Visibility, I don't care. And you might hear visibility and you're like, oh, I hate social media. Who tells you that visibility is all social media? Come on, there's so many ways for visibility, right? Follow up is going to be my number 2. And clear conversations is going to be number 3. These are my 3 non-negotiables. Simple doesn't mean easy, guys, but it works. This is what I've learned. You don't need a technical strategy and all the new systems and the new this and the new that. Keep it simple. And just do that one thing and do it great. Have you guys ever read that book, That One Thing, The One Thing? Just do it consistently. And you keep improving that one thing. And every time people keep asking, how do you get better? How do you get better? Because I focus on the one thing. My business, my system, that one thing. That's why it works. That's why I'm able to come here and share with you guys tonight, because I did that one thing, right? So my non-negotiable number 1, which I said is visibility. Visibility is letting people know what you do without over-explaining. Visibility is letting people know what you do without over-explaining. We tend to explain what we do and assume everyone is in real estate, assume everyone knows about business, assume everyone knows about manufacturing, assumes everyone knows about healthcare. Forget that. What do? My messaging, same message every time. May not be the exact script. That's why I'm telling you, don't ask me about script. I do not have a perfect script. But my messaging is the same. It's just in different formats. It could be a podcast. It could be a video, an intro video. It could be a long form video on my YouTube. It could be a short form video on my Instagram. It could be a short post on LinkedIn or an article on LinkedIn. It could be an email about what do I do. It's the same message. It's just a different format. It's different from someone who I met on the street. It's different from an Uber driver. It's different than someone that I meet on the airplane. Different format, the way I'm saying it, it's the same message. But I also have a consistent process as well for my visibility. So whatever that messaging, I'm clear on what my messaging is. I work with persons who want to invest in real estate, but they don't want to deal with contractors and all that stuff. They're looking for a way to invest in their capital with, maybe you have a W-2 and you love it. We take that capital and we provide short-term loans to real estate investors. When the investors pay us our money, we pay you interest. So you have that monthly mailbox money. That messaging, I just put it in different format depending on the platform that I'm using. And the process, I'm like, I'm recycling the information. I'm not recreating new stuff. I'm recycling the same thing, right? I'd post to be recognizable, not perfect. Do you know how many times I post on YouTube Shorts? Even old stuff that I posted 3 years ago, I reshare that. I don't care about being perfect and the number of likes and the views that I get. I just want, if you open any platform, you keep seeing my face and you sick of me. You sick of me. I'm on LinkedIn and people are like, girl, can you stop? But I love it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And these are posts that I've scheduled out months in advance. I don't need to worry anymore because I make the time to be visible and I create that content, whatever I need to do. Content does not mean you do a video all the time. I hate doing videos. This, what do you think I'm doing? This is visibility for me. You don't think it is? This is visibility. Posted on Skool, my emails. This is visibility. Someone's going to take a picture. This recording is going to go up. This is visibility. Right? I talk about what we fund, how I protect capital all the time. If you go on any of my platforms, if you communicate with me, there's something that talks about real estate, raising money, investors. My messaging is see, even the balloons know, even Zoom know that. Right? My platforms, I'm very consistent with my messaging, guys. Like my story, if you go back and watch my story and my socials, I have the same messaging. It's just in different format, but I'm very consistent and I have a process. And those are the things that I preach. There is no secret to raising money. None. We are just not consistent. We don't need a new strategy. Yes, you would improve the strategy after you work on what you currently have and you keep improving it and the system. But we have a consistency and a follow-up problem. So from this, I want you to pick 2 platforms. Again, when I say platforms, I'm not just talking Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Those are social media platforms. Pick 2 vehicles that you're going to focus on to increase your visibility. Email marketing is a vehicle. Doing articles using ChatGPT and doing articles is a way to create visibility. Those are vehicles in which you are going to communicate that message to your audience. Wherever they find you, the more you communicate that message, the more you get clear on where your audiences are, because then you're going to start getting feedback and interaction and you know what to improve. And you're going to think, oh, I used to post here a lot, but I'm getting more engagement here and finding more investors here. That means I also need to double down over here. So pick, what are your 2 platforms? What are your 2 vehicles that you're going to use to get more visibility? Again, I'm not talking just social media. And a lot of times we pick every single platform. Why? And then we get overwhelmed. And because we're not consistent for 4 weeks, we give up and you self-sabotage and you did this and yada, yada. I got to start over. I don't got a time. And then next thing you know, it's 2-3 months and you're not posting. Why? Pick 2 platforms. Stick with it. Be consistent. Okay. My non-negotiable number 2. Right on time. Follow-up system. This is crucial, you guys. Follow-up is stewardship. Most money is in the follow-up. 99% of the money is in the follow-up. 99% of the money is in the follow-up. I have a 24 to 48 hour follow-up rule. Whether we meet in person, online, I'm going to send you a text message. I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to send you something if we've had a conversation. Maybe we've had a conversation and I still don't know if you are going to be a potential prospect or invested in real estate, but maybe we shared something in the conversation that's not related to real estate. And I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to share this resource with you. I'm going to follow up. Hey, it was nice meeting you. Here's a resource that I mentioned. Here's the article that I've mentioned. Here's a flyer. Here's a person I wanted to introduce you to. Whatever that, we tend to think, okay, I don't have the perfect email ready to go, so I can't follow up. Make time for follow-up. You need to have a system for following up. That's crucial. A lot of us don't, right? Weekly touch point, monthly update rhythm. Going back to the emails or promotions. If you go in your promotions on your spam right now, especially your promotions, you're going to see a bunch of emails and you're going to open it You always open it and read it. If there's a sale, if there's a big deal. I get a lot of Costco stuff. So I always see when Costco have like deals, right? When you follow up, they don't have to respond to your email, you guys. They don't have to. At least it's there. When you get promotional emails, do you respond to all of them? But you read it though. You know they're having a sale. You know Amazon Prime is coming up because you see the date and you read the email. You know. You know Home Depot is having a sale. You know Target is having a sale. You know it's Black Friday. Oh, I want that TV. You're not going to reply to their email, but you know. It's the same thing with follow-up. It's the same thing with your weekly touch point. It's the same thing with your monthly touch points. They are reading it. If they reply, that's amazing. If they don't, they're opening it. And then again, your system. If you have the system and you follow up, you will see what's not working. And then you go back to strategy and you improve. And you try it again. Go back to strategy and then you improve. So this is my number one. My second thing is my follow-up system is my non-negotiable number 2. And this is something I'm even improving. My system isn't perfect, but the more I use it, the more I realize I need to improve stuff. So like all of last week with the Christmas holidays, I realized, oh, I wish our system could do X, Y, Z. I need to improve my process on the system. And I'm taking the time to improve that entire process on my system. So it's better for 2026. So I don't rely on memory anymore to follow up with people. I'm getting old, you guys. I don't rely on my memory. I talk to too many people. I go to a lot of networking events. I go to one networking event. I meet somebody. They invite me to something that's not related to real estate. I meet that person. Then it's like a spider web effect. I can't keep track of everyone that I meet. So I can't rely on my memory. So that's why it's so crucial to have a system. So when I meet somebody, so I have these. I'm going to show you guys. I have a rule. I collect, if someone give me their business cards, these are a bunch of business cards. I don't know if you guys can see how thick that is, right? When I get a business card, whether that's in my purse or whatever, it goes in a stash, but I don't put it down. There's a stash where this needs to go in my CRM. This hasn't been in my CRM. So it goes in the stash that said it needs to go in the CRM. And then there are times on my calendar where I take the stash that's not in my CRM and I upload them to my CRM. And if I'm at an event or something like that and I make notes, I go back to my notes because sometimes I like to do that. It's just what works for me. If I meet somebody and we've had something discussion or they want me to introduce them to somebody, I'll make a note in my phone and I usually remember their name or whatever. So when I go back to the business card, I'll be like, oh, I met this person. This is what we spoke about, yada, yada, yada. And I send them a message. But I also add them to my CRM. So I have a pile. So everyone in this pile, they're already in my CRM. And I maybe have like 3 business cards that I got that's in the pile right now to say it's not in my CRM. Right? I don't rely on memory. I have a system. I have a process. So I would like you to write 3 names that you need to follow up with this week. 3 people that you've met. Maybe it was 3 months ago. That's okay. Maybe it was 4 months ago. Maybe it was last week. You have no excuse that, oh, Kalisha, but it's New Year's, it's the holidays, and send them a message. Hey, hope you had a great Christmas. Happy New Year when it comes. You have between tomorrow. You can schedule messages and send them out tomorrow. You have Wednesday. You have Friday. Right. 3 people that you've met in your lifetime that express interest in what you're doing, and you just haven't followed up because you think it was 4 months ago. It's too late. It's never too late. Write it down. 3 people. Daryl is like, I'm trying to think of 3 people. You got to find 3 people, man. 3 people. 3 people that you haven't reached out to in a long time, that maybe commented on a post that you had about real estate and investing. 3 people that you met at a networking event, something. You got their business card, write it down. Write it down. Non-negotiable number 3, clear conversations. 3 questions I'd always be able to answer. without sounding like, oh, using real estate jargons, business jargons, no matter who I'm talking to. Thanks to my Chamber of Commerce, I've gotten a lot of practice with doing that because I had to pitch to a lot of non-real estate people. But I'm always able to communicate what is it that I'm doing? How does it work? It is real estate, right? How does it work? And occasionally how my investor is protected. So I'm always able, in very, very clear way, what is it? What is that it thing? What is it? I partner with people who have capital, who want to invest in real estate. That's it. How does it work? Giving the money. We do all the paperwork. Sometimes I don't even talk about paperwork. When I take the money, I do this with the money. Whenever I finish this is how you get your money out. Most times I get too protected. When based on the conversation, they start acting like they're afraid, and then I'll go to protection. But even after that, I'm still able to communicate and have conversation and answer this without being overwhelmed, but without overwhelming the other person. What we need to do is take off the real estate hat for a little bit when you're talking to people. Take it off and just have a conversation with people. Just take it off. Have conversations, right? So I don't lead with returns at all. What does 20% mean? Imagine someone's trying to get me to invest in crypto or buy gold or commodities. And they're like, I give you 20% return on what? I'm not a maths person. Now I need to take out my phone and calculate 20%. I don't even know how much money I have. I don't even know that I can invest. I do not lead with returns. I lead with clarity and protection. I'm selling you on what is it that I'm doing. Because I want you to understand first. If I get you to understand what is it that I'm doing, you can make a sound decision if this is for you or not, or if you want more information. But if you don't understand it, you're going to shut me down. I'm in front of you. I want you to understand it. Let's have a conversation if we have time. So when you can explain it extremely simple, you sound confident. Imagine someone come to you and like they're slouching and they're like, well, I need a 500,000. No, I want to go buy a house, but I also saw the business that I want to buy, and I need $500,000. I can give you a great return, man. Who's gonna give that person money? Gonna take that for a joke. But if you go to someone confidently and you can say, hey, this is what I do, this is how it works, and you're confident, your posture, how you talk, even if you don't have the correct sentence, the way how you navigate that conversation, people can pick it up that you're confident and you know what you're talking about, even if you don't. So that's my non-negotiable, my 3 non-negotiables. Again, visibility, clear conversations, and my follow-up system are my 3 main things. These are all that I'm doing for 2026. I literally am building improve my entire business from these 3 things. I cut it down. I used to have 5 non-negotiables. Now it's 3. I used to take minimum of 25K 3 years ago. I don't. Then I moved to 50,000. No, I don't. Now I moved to 100,000. Listen, the next time by the end of the year, maybe I'll be at 300 or 200. Because I've grown. My systems have become better. My system has become better. I'm improving my business, right? So we did the whole audit. So remember, you guys had to write things down, right? You had to write a bunch of things down. Did you guys write them down? You wrote it down? Okay. So after the audit, you will fall into one of the 3 buckets. Because everyone in this room, thanks for the thumbs up, Cara. Everyone on this Zoom, even if you're rewatching it after, we're all at different stages of our investing journey, raising capital journey, whatever that is, right? So we're gonna So each step that I'm going to share with you is going to be, it's not for everyone. It won't be the same. Everyone will fall again into different buckets. So I'm going to walk you through your options based on what you wrote down, right? Why am I keep coughing? All right. But also check out my cool photo. And this is the energy I want you guys to have going into 2026. Okay. Okay. If I were starting today, I wish someone told me this. I really wish someone was told me this. Is that I would keep it simple, man. I would keep it dirty simple when telling people what is it that I do. And I would talk to people. I would not judge people based on what they wear and say, think because you're in a suit, that means you have money. No, I would talk to everybody, because one thing that I've learned is that once you talk to everybody, someone's going to introduce you to your next potential investor. That has been like working for me like crazy. I'm talking to everybody, because you might not be my potential investor, but someone else will. And if you understand what is it that I'm doing, guess what? When you meet somebody, you could be like, oh, I have a girlfriend. She does this. Let me introduce you. Boom, that's an investor, right? I will talk to more people and I will build trust before asking. Because if I will win $1 million, there's no way I'm just going to give a random stranger $1 million. I want to build trust. Hi, sweetie. I want to build trust. Right? I want to see if I like you to give you my money. I was told that I need to just go out there and ask people for money. No, stop doing that to a complete stranger. You do have people who are like that for real, who are very transactional. But let's not start the year or approach the year with that, right? I'm a perfectionist. That's my weakness, right? I wouldn't wait to feel ready. I did this with my real estate investing career, where it took me two years to fully get my first property because I didn't feel ready. I didn't know everything. I didn't have the whole step. I wouldn't wait for the perfect deal either, right? I'll start building that muscle now, today, getting the system, talking to people, practicing, getting the no's. I will start that now, right? So these are the main things that I would do. And I don't know, something about this photo. Okay, I'm going to break a little bit. Something about this photo and this message where it just hit me, where you see this confidence on this person's face. If I had that, I did not have that in 2023 when I started raising money at all, because I was this shy girl from Jamaica who have never held $10,000 in her hand before. I've never seen it before. But I knew I wanted to get into real estate, and everyone told me no. And I didn't want to ask anyone for money because I didn't know anyone with money. So with $50,000, you're rich. I've never seen that. So if I had that confidence, everyone told me, go do this, go do that. Yes, but no one told me to keep it simple. No one told me, don't wait until you just talk to people. That $290,000 that I got from that stranger, it was a lot that I was so scared to put it on the contract because I didn't have the money. I'm like, I don't want to sign the contract because I don't have the money. But I was at that point where I'm like, Kalisha, you will never be ready. Go sign the contract, figure it out. Sign it. Give yourself enough time for due diligence. Go sign it. We had to put $50,000 non-refundable EMD. I'm like, holy shit, where am I getting this money from? I don't even have $50,000 non-refundable EMD. I borrowed that money, but I had a plan. And that person who gave me the $50,000 knew it wouldn't be perfect, but I went in, I was able to explain, this is what I'm going to use your money for. This is how your money will be protected. This is what we're going to do. And he's like, I'm in, but I also want a piece of the pie. I'm like, okay, fine. I need another 290. I was freaking out. I've never raised that much money in my entire life. And for someone to say yes, because one, they were watching me quietly online. Two, I was able to communicate what is it that I was doing without using the real estate jargons. I was aware of all the potential risk of them losing their money, but I had a plan of what we're doing to mitigate that risk. I was completely new, but I had an idea of the process, and I had a strong team that I communicate that gave them the confidence to do it. So start building that muscle now, right? So option one, if what the things that you wrote down before, right, the answers to the questions, option one might be for you. You may need strategy and clarity if you wrote down, I need a plan, or I don't know what to do first, or I don't need systems yet. Because the reality, sometimes you don't need a system yet. You're completely new. What the hell are you doing with a system? Go learn. Go get the reps in, right? I need direction. I'm inconsistent, right? That's option one. You need strategy and clarity. If that is for you, then I think in 2 weeks, is in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm doing a 30-day capital raising plan on January 14. And this is where I am breaking down week by week every single thing that you need to do. I'm giving you a whole plan, 30 days. Week 1, this is what you do. Week 2, this is what you do. Week 3, week 4. Okay. So we're going to do that. So I think, let me see. Shonda, Brianna, and Cara, you guys are good. You guys will automatically be a part of this. So you get this, and even add on before, because we would have sessions before January 14. But this is 30-day mapping out what to do week by week, what we're doing. This is where, like, I think if you are completely new to raising money for real estate, for your business, whatever it is, and you need capital, this is where you should start. You don't need a system yet. And especially as you start the year, maybe in Q2, Q3, you can get the system. Don't worry about getting a system yet. I don't think you need that yet. Okay. Now, I'll leave that there. I also dropped the link in the chat as well. And then everyone that's here, you will get a follow-up email for the replay and the link. So you'll get that. Now, option 2, if you're like, oh, Kalisha, I got this. I already have this. I already know I have clarity. I have a strategy. I just need system and execution, right? So if you wrote down, you know what to do. I just need to do it consistently. I don't want to rely on brain memory. I lose track of follow-ups, especially if you're wearing multiple hats, especially if you have multiple businesses. You need structure. You need something where even if you put everything in there, you can have a team that do it for you. If you set it up and you put everything how you want it, then you can have a VA, whoever it is, to run it for you. Then you need systems. This is a system that I use to run my business. I use Monday, and I'll also share a demo link so you guys can see it, how it looks, and you can watch that as well. I think I can't stress this enough, how much this has changed my business. Man, I used to use, what is that thing called? I started using Excel, move from Excel to ClickUp, move from ClickUp, because I outgrew ClickUp, and use Monday. And I wish I could show you guys my entire Monday of how I built that entire thing out in a year to 2 years. And the thing is, like, I'm not using it for capital raising. And that's what I keep telling people. I'm using it to run every business that I have, to keep track of my goals. Like, I can go back to and review my 2024 goals, my audit, my 2025 goals, my audit, my net worth. I'm tracking my net worth in that. I'm checking my assets, my liabilities, all my partnerships. I'm checking in that. All the money that I've borrowed, I'm checking on Monday. I'm keeping track of that. My team, every task that I give my team, hey, you need to do this. It's not urgent. You don't need to do it today, but by next week, here's the deadline. Here's the brief. This is how I want it. And that gives me the confidence when I am ready to hire somebody else. I can confidently say, hey, this is our system that we'll be using. Because everyone's like, do you use Slack? No, I don't. because a lot of person are used to using Slack. This is, and I can confidently say when I'm training that person, this is our system. I want you to reach out to these leads. This is how you're going to do it. And I can track to see what they're doing. If I'm not able to track, I can't measure, I can't improve. Right? So that's option 2. Option 3, you need personalized support. If you're like, Kalisha, like, really? I'm the type of person, you got to hold my hand. You got to hold my hand. I need eyes on my situation. My deals are very unique. I want direct guidance. This is what I enjoy, but also I like pouring into people, but I only like doing it if you show up and you execute. Because I'm going to get very miserable if I'm telling you to do this, do that. If you're like, this is what I need help with, and I'm telling you, try this, and you're not doing it, I'm going to be like, you're wasting my time. You're not serious, right? So if you need personalized support, then you would have to apply for one-on-one support. And yes, you have to apply, because some of y'all are just joining stuff for joining stuff's sake, and you're not. Let me shut up. Yeah. But we tend to like just jump into everything, and you're not at the stage for that yet. And I will tell you, I've had so many persons apply, and they're like, this is what I know. It's like, no, you don't need me. Either you're too advanced or you're not ready for this. Go consume all the free content that I have on YouTube, in the classroom, on Skool. There's so much resources in there. Go consume that. And when you consume every single thing and you max it out, you're like, okay, I have the basics. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to level up. Then this is where this is crucial. If you're not ready to level up, then no. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. So don't leave this as notes, everything that you did. Just remember that clarity without action changes nothing. Clarity without action changes nothing. Choose a step. Stop showing up on Zoom for showing up's sake. What is that? Who are you trying to prove? You're here for a reason. You have a goal. Everyone wants to raise money. This is something I see all the time. Everyone wants to raise money, but no one wants to really put the work in to do it at all. We talk about it. You talk about it, and that's it. That is it. You do it for 2 weeks. You didn't raise the $500,000. Oh, this didn't work. I'm done. Next. Right? So that is my last thing that I want to say, but I want to repeat that again. Clarity without action changes nothing. Remember that when you're going into 2026 as well. That's very crucial. We all that's the new year, new me, boo. Yes, boo, new year, new me. And after January 31st, everyone's like, back to where they were. And then now everyone's like, new goals. Come on, you want accountability? This is it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is what you see is what you get. What you see here, how I talk, this is exactly how I talk to you. And I will take time because I ran over my 8:30. I will take one question or a feedback on tonight's call. Oh my God, before I do, Macy. Oh, wish, please. Oh, guys, if Macy, if you can turn your camera on and talk, guys, I want to give you a whole testimony with Macy. I hope she can come on, or she's driving. Oh my God, guys, let me tell you, I'm going to put Macy on the flag. If you guys ever need design services in Smokies, wherever it is, she'll figure it out. Macy is the person to go to, right? When it comes on to designing short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, she is the plug. Okay, she is the plug. Even if she's not able to go there physically, she can help you. She can guide you, create the shopping list. Macy was the first person I've hired out of state. Oh, she's putting down her son for bed. Oh, okay, good. She's the first person I hired out of state for when I bought my cabin. When I tell you, Macy did everything for me. Like she went to the house, collected the packages, unpacked the stuff, get the house ready, did every single thing for someone who was buying a short-term rental for the very first time. Peace of mind. So if you guys ever need or know anyone who need, Macy's the place. Oh, there she is. Macy. Oh, I lost her. Oh gosh, I wish. Have anyone's here seen my cabin? Oh,
Nope.
gosh, my cabin, the same design, just as how Macy designed it 3 years ago. That's exactly how it is today. I haven't even touched it. No, nothing at all. So if you guys ever need,
Supposed to be asleep. I have a meeting to get on. Roll over and go sleep. Curl up. It's a meeting.
Oh, okay. While Macy comes on, any question, I'll take a question or feedback.
I got a question for you, Kalisha. So, keeping it simple, I think that's one of my biggest challenges, where especially speaking to non-real estate people. Um, how do you engage in that conversation to really, we do a lot of different things, and I know you broke down a framework, but keeping it really concise, clarity, without going on, especially when we know a lot of things. How did you get it really, really, really refined?
I listen. I listen to what the other person is saying. We're having a conversation. I think we go into conversations to immediately pitch. So we're just waiting for them to shut up so we can pitch.
Yeah.
Don't.
Just
Go
talk.
in. Just talk.
Regular.
There you go. See, Chandra can tell you. I stress this all the time in our sessions.
Interesting.
Talk. It's like, Daryl, I don't know who you are. So if I go to a net, and when I say networking, let's say I go to a gala or a dinner or a PTA meeting, and I'm meeting someone for the very first time, and they're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, I'm in the real estate space, depending on the setting, because I'm gonna be very observant of the setting. I'm in the real estate space, and what I basically do is that I partner with persons who have capital and they're looking to invest. That investment is through real estate. For some people, the investment could be buying a business or a laundromat. But for me, that investment is in real estate. I like the real estate because it's easier for me to protect their money, right? I take that money that they give to me and then I give out loans like the bank. That person pays me interest. When I get that interest, I pay you back. So it's simply listening, just have a conversation. You're not pitching on the first go. Just talk to them. And you have to evaluate, where am I at? The environment. Where are you? Is it, I mean, am I in a space where I can go deeper into the pitch? Is it like a quick networking where it's just a hi and bye? Because depending on that, then I may need to, hey, how about this? Let's have a chat after this. Hey, let's continue the conversation. But if you have time, you have a talk. But then you stop as well. You shut up, and you learn about the person. Learn about them. That's there's no secret. Some of my best investors, yes, they came from referrals, but it was just me getting to know them and they getting to know me. Because the deal can be so good, but if they don't like you or if they don't believe in you and your story and your vision and where you want to go, they're not going to give you their money. That's just the reality of it.
Oh, no, thanks very much for that. I think because most of my money comes from like referrals or people approaching me, I've never really done that outreach to people or cold outreach. So it's usually relationship first. It does take time. And then they usually come to myself, but I never solicited it. That's the part I'm trying to work out.
And you would know this too because you're in Black Card. So I don't ask you for money for cold outreach at all. When I do cold outreach, I'm just trying to get to know you. I want to see if we're a good fit. I want to see, is there some way or expertise can cross paths? Can I refer a client to you? Can you refer a client to me? But in order to do that, I need to understand what is it that you do. So that's why I have those meetings. That's the first thing. You can also use your past investors a way to get new ones. I've done that a lot. I still do that. I always ask my past investors to send me videos, reviews, testimonials, because I can take that material and show it to other persons who have never invested with me before. But then I also use my past investors I tell them what I'm doing, because I give a good experience. They automatically, most times, refer more people to me. That's why I said, like, most of my business now is through referrals. That's just the reality of it. When you start having persons cutting bigger checks, referrals is key. But I still do outreach because that is crucial. Because my referrals can be tapped out.
Okay. Thanks very much.
You are welcome. All right, I saw one hand.
That was me, Kalisha.
Carol.
Hi.
Hi, Carol. How are you, my dear?
Good, good. I have a quick question. So, have you been in an event or a meeting with just real estate, where you are one more capital raiser? And how did you how you make the difference to, like, oh, this is not the same capital raiser that I just spoke with?
Me, I be myself. I don't talk about business. I share my story. I always share my story. And when I say share my story, I always lead with, I'm Jamaican. That always like breaks the ice. It's a way for them to remember me. You got to remember, you are you. There's not two Carol. So whenever there's a space like that, I always find something that's authentically me, that's not relating to nobody else, so I can lighten the mood with a conversation. It could be the weather. Like, I don't know if you were on at the beginning when we were talking about the weather and how much I love the cold. And everyone's like, you're crazy. You're an island girl. You're from Jamaica. How do you love the cold? I use that for conversations a lot. You'd be surprised. My area code. If I call somebody and they see my area code, one of my biggest investors now, he invested with me because of my area code. It's in Massachusetts, from Martha's Vineyard. And he lived in Boston. It could be me being, as I said, me being Jamaican. It was the fact that I left Jamaica and I went in a restaurant space. I post something about me depending on where I'm at. I do it all the time. And that allowed the other person to start even asking more questions. And most times they're like, oh my God, your story is so inspiring. I was like, really? Anyone can do that? And they're like, no. And that kind of build a conversation, and they want to ask more. So find something that's uniquely you, your story, your journey, that you can always pull from to have that conversation. Let them switch over and asking you about business.
Okay.
But also know that you always be in rooms where there are the capital raisers. And this is completely side note. Dara, will you be going to Utah in January?
I'm not sure yet. I should be going to the UK. I'm just trying to work out the schedule at the moment.
Okay. So Car, here an example is that I am a part of a mastermind, and we meet like every quarter, right? And in that room, everyone's looking for money. And and they're looking for like a lot of money. But guess what? You have to pitch. And the reason why you have to pitch, because there are people in there also writing huge checks. So you can't even think that, and you're going to find people in the same industry. And in that mastermind, we have people in real estate, crypto, they buy businesses, they do short-term rentals, everything. They buy gold, like every single thing. And you're pitching against these people. You're trying to raise money against these people. But everything that stands out, the ones that stands out are the person that finds something that's unique to them. all the time. Just find something that's unique to you. That's a conversation starter. Something about your journey, your story, your life, the weather. Just find out 2 or 3 things that you can always pull from and start a conversation.
Okay, thank you so much. And regarding in posting in social media, if I find I've seen different posts to have, I mean, idea what to do, and the most common that I say, let's say, is like, these are the 5 red flags in lending money. So this makes
I'm
against
gonna smother you
capital
and you'll go to
raising.
sleep.
So I would say, forget about that. Are you usually posted on social media?
Yes, we're not usually. Lately, it has been very slow, but I was trying to build my visibility through social media.
Talk about you. Talk about you. Talk about deals that you've done. Talk about deals that you've lent money on. Talk about deals that went south. Talk about your emotions and how you felt. Talk about you've lent money on these deals. You've had so much experience and money that on deals you've lent money on.
Okay.
Talk about that, because people will be able to relate to you more. And then in the future, you can do 5 things XYZ. You can add to that, but you want to share your journey. People are more interested in your journey because it's so unique to you.
I'll say, okay.
Talk about the mistakes you've made and what you never do it again. And you don't
Okay.
have to have the perfect script. Just talk however you want.
Got it. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, my dear. All right, you guys, I am way over my time. But I want to thank each and every one of you for joining tonight. Letting you know as well that this recording will send out an email. You can rewatch it. I really hope that you guys go and implement some of the stuff. Everything that I've shared. Again, I did not get it off. What do you call it? What is that thing? What is that AI thing called? Why can't I figure out the name? ChatGPT, right? It's things where I made time to do work on my business. I've been doing what do you call it? Recap for 2025 since November. I've been auditing my year since November. I'm at the finish line for the plan for 2026. I'm in advance, right? So I took everything that what worked last year, what I'm focusing on. I mean, I didn't give it a full picture, but at least a basic idea that you can take for your business and you can go implement that. You can build on that for your business when doing your goals for 2026. All right. So thank you guys for showing up. Happy holidays. Happy New Year when it comes. I wish you guys so much prosperity, so much growth, so much love and happiness. Thank you for showing up the time. And I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.